screenshots of your bank account to sell more, or how much you've invested in yourself to sell more. Both of those things just need to stop. Now, I will share screenshots of my client wins. I will share those until I'm blue in the face because that is evidence, the system and the method. But what we need to stop doing is using our quote unquote revenue as marketing. This is part 2 of a 2-part series where I was breaking down 8 of the key indicators that I think are pretty much red flags to say, run the other way. Because these things, in my opinion, are tactics that people are using that are tarnishing our industry. They are draining people's bank accounts, and they are making people feel not seen, not heard, totally defeated, taken advantage of, and absolutely afraid to trust again. Let's get right into it. This would be number 5, technically, of the 8. And this is the idea of putting the cart before the horse in marketing. That is essentially like making promises and claims that you can help people do X, Y, Z when you've never done it and you've never helped anyone else do it. Just doesn't feel truthful for me. Where I see this most is in the business coaching arena. It's in the I can help you make money arena. I'm not really seeing this as prevalent in health and fitness or dog trainers or maybe real estate agents, at least not in my world. Now, interesting conversation. So Bill Belichick is the coach of the Patriots. Bill Belichick, if you've ever seen him, is an older, slightly overweight man who I assure you cannot run, catch, throw, or kick as well, probably not even close to as well as any of his athletes. So could it be true that you could coach someone on something that you can't physically do? Absolutely. He in fact is like a third eye. He's a master at placing people on the field and understanding the plays, and that's what he's been studying for all these years. That is his zone of genius, him being the coach. So could it be true that you could coach someone on something or teach someone or help someone with something that you have not personally done? Absolutely, you can. The issue I have though is when there's just blatant lies in the marketing. The one that really bugs me is the hours that they work. I have had people in my masterminds, in my peers, in friendships that I know behind the scenes are working 80 hours a week for a year or two, and they've built their business up to this incredible place, and they're making all of this impact, and they're making all of this income, and then they have a team, and they start running ads, and they do all this other stuff, and then they're finally able to come down to maybe 10 or 20 hours a week of work. But then all of a sudden in their marketing, they're selling that they only work 10 hours a week, and they built this big business. But that's not the truth. It's like you worked all of these extra hours to build the business. Now you're in a place where you're working less. There's a very fine line when it comes to marketing when people are claiming that their method or their tool or their one particular thing is what got them to where they are today, and that sometimes is not the truth. So I would just be mindful of anyone putting the cart before the horse. Number 6, copying content or regurgitating information. Unfortunately, it has happened to me. We have had people come through programs and take my content. We've had fake accounts of mine where people are literally stealing my content. For me, it's less of like a copying problem. It's the regurgitating the information and teaching the information without the experience behind it, without the time to embody the thing in your own life or in your own business before you're going and teaching. And if you are going to do something like that, just credit the person. Like if you're going to quote someone, credit them. If you're going to take someone's caption, credit them. Ask permission as well. I've DM'd people before. I DM'd my friend Jill. I said, wow, your caption today, your content today was so good. Do you mind if I credit you, shout you out, and piggyback off of what you said? And obviously she said, no, absolutely, go for it. And then I tagged her in it and I said, Jill said this today. It was a great post. You should go read it. I can't say it better than how she said it, but I'm going to also extend on that. The lying about how much you work or the lying about how much money you make just to make more sales. So we talked about it before in the context of how many hours you work, but one magical masterclass isn't going to teach someone all of that information where they're then going to get this outcome that you've actually spent years working on. What we need to do is we need to stop avoiding sharing our chapters 1 through 10 and only selling chapter 11, because what we're doing collectively as an entire society is we're giving misinformation about what it actually takes to get to chapter 11. Now, expectations equal experience. We have people who think that it's going to take X when really it's going to take Y. We have people who come into an industry like digital marketing and education and coaching and content creation thinking that it's going to take X, but really it requires Y, and they are left very unhappy very quickly. They're let down. They are are overwhelmed, they are upset, they feel it's not for them. In fact, we have people that are trying out in this industry who shouldn't even be trying out in this industry because they actually don't even want to be in this industry, but they think that it's trending and that they have to and that they're going to be left behind if they don't. So it's really important for us to share all of our chapters 1 through 10, not just chapter 11. Okay, I think we're on number 8 here. Screenshots of your bank account to sell more, or how much you've invested in yourself to sell more. Both of those things just need to stop. Now, I will share screenshots of my client wins. I will share those until I'm blue in the face because that is evidence, the system and the method. But what we need to stop doing is using our quote unquote revenue as marketing. I personally know someone who made $800,000 in revenue. However, what I also know is that they spent $1.2 million in overhead, in ads, in team. And so this person was actually $400,000 in the red. So this person is not an example of someone who is sharing revenue screenshots, but can you see how manipulative and how honestly sleazy it would be if they were sharing the $800,000 revenue and that's all they were sharing? The money that you make is incredible, but how much money someone makes or perceives to make should have no indicator on what they can help you with. So anyway, 8 little red flags, 8 little key indicators that I deeply believe are an issue in the industry. I'm so excited and I'm proud to say that I think that these are being shown, like they're being showcased. There's a flashlight that's been lit and people are seeing this now. The gaslighting that's been going on, that predatory marketing, all of that's been going on for a couple of years, people are seeing it now. Some of this stuff just is unethical. Some of this stuff is just not okay. And what kills me is that I am a part of this industry where this is happening. This is happening and I don't want to be associated with it. That is not how we run this company. And if you've ever been a part of any of our free content or our paid content, our paid programs, anything, I know for sure that you can back me on that because I've heard it thousands and thousands of times. And I know that we make decisions in this company from a place of integrity. It is the first thing that we always talk about. It's the first core value. My friends, if you love this episode, if you haven't listened to part 1, please go back and listen to part 1. It's good. I promise you. If you loved this, either part of it, both parts of it, it would mean the world if you shared it out. It's a really important conversation to have. If we can get this conversation in the hands and ears and eyes of more people on the internet, I have a funny feeling that we'll see less and less of this icky, yicky, sticky stuff. As always, share it out on social, tag me, I am Jessica DeRose, and cheers to your evolution. Thank you for being a part of my corner of the internet.